So today we're once again going to go through women are from Venus and men are from Mars, or something like that, something similar. It is a very interesting, more story-based read about dealing with men and dealing with women. And I've just before I've started to talk realized that it is indeed actually good for men to know how to just, I don't know, deal with men, I guess. I don't know what's wrong today, but there is something wrong with the performance. I feel like, yeah, there is something wrong, but I don't know what is wrong. Do I actually have space for recording? I know, maybe I should actually check beforehand or something. But I assume that it should be okay. Yes, it should be quite okay. But I still have very bad performance issues. But I don't know why. Maybe I'm gonna close tabs to the right. Maybe this is gonna do the trick because there's actually nothing more to close there. But this thing maybe. Yeah, so the fourth point is speaking different languages. The Martians and Venusians' language had the same words, but the way they were used gave different meanings. To fully express their feelings, women assume poetic license to use various superlatives, metaphors, and generalizations. The number one complaint women have in relationships is, "I don't feel hurt." Even this complaint is misunderstood by men. One of the biggest challenges for men is correctly to interpret and support a woman when she is talking about her feelings. The biggest challenge for women is correctly to interpret and support a man when he is talking. He isn't talking. Silence is most easily misinterpreted by women. When a man is silent, it is easy for a woman to imagine the worst. But it is not the case. Why women talk? To convey or gather information, which is the first point. The second point is to explore and discover what it is she wants to say. The third is to feel better and more centered when she is upset. And the third, to create intimacy. Never go into a man's cave or you will be burned by the dragon. When a man goes into his cave, he's generally wounded or stressed and is trying to solve his problems alone. To give him the support that a woman would want is counterproductive. Yes, and also just lets the man be alone and stuff. But I do want to point out, just because we are in the very beginning of the whole thing, and yes, I've been recording this exact same summary before as well, so it is a little bit strange for me and different for you. But I do want to point out, it is a generalization. You know, this book is heavily generalizing women and men. There might be some patterns, there might be some things that are generally the truth, but not everything. I do really want to point that out because it might sound like that this is my opinion and whatnot, but it is not necessarily. I'm reading this thing, I'm going to talk about some things. Maybe I'm going to add some things to some points that I don't really think are the truth. Sometimes I just overread them and I don't know. I do want to point out, in general, it is generalizing things. So be aware of that, please. And just, yeah, I'm going to go ahead. How to support a man in his cave. Let's see. Don't disapprove of his need for withdrawing. Don't try to help him solve his problem by offering solutions. Don't try to nurture him by asking questions about his feelings. Don't sit next to the door of the cave and wait for him to come out. Don't worry about him or feel sorry for him. Do something that makes you happy. And I do want to point out, especially the last point is like, yeah, do something that makes you happy as a woman, which is actually a very good thing to do for your man, being happy on your own. At least this is kind of the case for me. I like to see people that I really appreciate and people that I really love happy. I just tremendously appreciate that, and I tremendously think that it is an important thing for me. Might be the different thing for other people or for other men. I don't know. These are some examples. Read a book, listen to music, work in a garden, take a bubble bath, exercise, get a massage, call a girlfriend, go shopping, pray, watch TV, cook something delicious. And when a man comes to you, then you can do shit, I would say. It is very difficult for a man to differentiate between empathy and sympathy. He hates to be pitied. That is why too much caring for him is smothering. Okay, the fifth one. Men are like rubber bands. When a man loves a woman periodically, he needs to pull away from her to get closer. A man automatically alternates between needing intimacy and autonomy. To a certain extent, a man loses himself through connecting with his partner. I would actually argue, yes, that this is kind of the case. There are two ways a woman or women, whatever, may unknowingly obstruct her male partner's natural intimacy cycle. They are first, chasing him when he pulls away, and second of all, pushing him for pulling away. I see. Chasing behaviors. Physically, when he pulls away, she physically follows him. Emotionally, when he pulls away, she emotionally follows him by worrying about him, feeling sorry for him, and whatnot. The third one, mental, she may try to pull him back mentally by asking him guilt-inducing questions or trying to please him, becoming overly accommodating. Punishing behaviors. Physically, when he begins to desire her again, she rejects him. This pisses me off the most. It really does. And by the way, I've seen this as well. Like sometimes, back in my relationship, sometimes I've actually indeed been like a rubber band, like just pulling myself away a bit to just maybe solve my problems and solve my stress and do shit. But then I felt the need of just, wanting to be in contact again, physical or whatever. And then just pushing me away is not a cool thing. But I don't know. Emotional, when he returns, she's unhappy and she blames him. And the third one, mental, when he returns, he refuses to open up and share her feelings. Because this is actually indeed also what I wanted to have, like just knowing how somebody feels. Actually gonna get a gum. Having a quite dry voice today. But yeah. Women are like waves. When a woman's wave rises, feels she has an abundance of love to give, but when it falls, she feels her inner emptiness and needs to be filled up with love. This time of bottoming out is a time for emotional house cleaning. A woman's ability to give and receive love in her relationship is generally a reflection of how she's feeling about herself. When she is not feeling as good about herself, she is unable to be as accepting and appreciative of her partner. When a man loves a woman, she begins to shine with love and fulfillment. Most men naively expect that shine to last forever. Men pull back and then get close, while women rise and fall in their ability to love themselves and others. A man assumes that her sudden change of mood is based solely on his behavior. When she's happy, he takes credit, but when she's unhappy, he also feels responsible, which is something that I've felt as well. When a woman is going down, she needs to hit bottom before she could come up. The last thing a woman needs when she is on her way down is someone telling her why she shouldn't be down, actually. What she needs is someone to be with her as she goes down, to listen to her while she shares her feelings, and to empathize with what she is going through. Even if a man can't fully understand why a woman feels overwhelmed, he can offer his love, attention, and support. When a woman goes into her wall, if she feels supported, she doesn't necessarily feel better right away. She may feel worse, but that is a sign that his support may be helping. His support may actually help her to hit bottom sooner, and then she can and will feel better. To generally come up, she first needs to hit bottom. That is the cycle. I don't know. It could be the case, but again, it is a generalization, so I don't necessarily know, and there is also no evidence in that. I don't know. But I do see some patterns that I've seen in my relationship as well, and I've seen in my life as well, which is interesting. Very interesting. Even when a man is succeeding in supporting a woman, she may become even more upset. To support a woman when she is in her well is a special gift that she will gradually appreciate. There are 3 points each man should realize. A man's love and support cannot instantly resolve a woman's issues. A woman going into her well is not a man's fault of his failure, and a woman has within herself her ability or the ability to spontaneously rise up after she has hit the bottom. Avoiding arguments and fights certainly is healthy, but not suppressing feelings. When negative feelings are suppressed, positive feelings become suppressed as well, and love dies. Even a strong, confident, and successful woman will need to visit her well from time to time. When a man is not capable of listening attentively with caring, understanding, and respect, these 3 actions can help. Accept your limitations. Don't try to listen when you can't. Understand her pain. She can be more trusting, forgiving if you're caring and understanding of her hurt. Avoid arguing and give reassurance. Reassure her that you will be back and that you will be able to give her the support she deserves. Good point. It puts too much pressure on a man to make him the only source of love and also support. The 7th one is discovering our different emotional needs. Man and woman generally are unaware that they have different emotional needs. As a result, they do not instinctively know how to support each other. Men typically give in relationships what men want, while women give what women want. Each mistakenly assume that the other has the same needs and desires. As a result, they both end up dissatisfied and resentful. Most of our complex emotional needs can be summarized as the need for love. Men and women each have 6 unique love needs that are all equally important. Woman needs to receive and man needs to receive. So I'm gonna need So what woman needs to receive: caring, understanding, respect, devotion, validation, and reassurance. And men need trust, acceptance, appreciation, admiration, approval, and encouragement. I honestly have to say, it's generally is kind of the case. I would say so, yeah. At least, I'm speaking of man, what men want to have. For women, it could actually be the case. I mean, caring, understanding, respect, devotion, validation, reassurance. Fulfilling a primary need is required before one is able to fully receive and appreciate the other kinds of love. She needs caring and he needs trust. She needs understanding and he needs acceptance. She needs respect and he needs appreciation. She needs devotion. What is devotion? Not devotion, but devotion. Trueness, loyalty. And he needs admiration. She needs validation and he needs approval. She needs reassurance and he needs encouragement. What is reassurance? The action of removing someone's doubts or fears. I see. So how to avoid arguments? Just as communication is the most important element in a relationship, arguments can be the most destructive element. Most couples start out arguing about one thing and within 5 minutes are arguing about the way they are arguing. The 4 F's for avoiding hurt in an argument. Fight. This comes from the man. When he feels the conversation becomes unloving, he moves into an offensive stance. The best defense is a strong offense. So he starts on blaming, judging, criticizing, and when his partner backs down, he assumes he has won. Imitation always weakens trust in a relationship. Intimidation. Flight. This also comes from the man. To avoid confrontation, he might retire into his cave and never come out. The short-term gain is peace and harmony, but if issues are not being talked about, the resentments will build. Fake. This stance comes from the woman. To avoid being hurt, she pretends there is no problem, but over time she becomes increasingly resentful, which blocks the natural expression of love. Fold. This stance also comes from the woman. Rather than argue, she takes the blame and assumes responsibility for whatever is upsetting her partner, but she ends up losing herself, which is not good either. Not good. And I once again see some patterns, and I once again see some things. But yeah. The autonomy of an argument. Step 1. A woman expresses her upset feelings about X, Y, and Z. Step 2. A man explains why she shouldn't be upset about X, Y, and Z. Step 3. She feels invalidated and becomes more upset. She's now more upset about being invalidated than about X, Y, and Z. Step 4. He feels her disapproval and becomes upset. He blames her for upsetting him and expects an apology before making up. Step 5. She apologizes and wonders what happened, or she becomes more upset and the argument escalates into a battle. Men rarely say, "I'm sorry," because on Mars it means you have done something wrong and you are apologizing. The most common way women unknowingly start arguments is by not being direct when they share their feelings. Men are most prone to argue when they have made a mistake or upset the woman they love. Yes, absolutely. The thing is, I've already went through it. Our critical pair of problems from which arguments arise. The man feels that the woman disapproves of his point of view, and what? The man feels that the woman disapproves of his point of view, and the woman disapproves of the way the man is talking to her. I don't even know what the first sentence should mean. The man feels that the woman disapproves of his point of view. Okay, there are 5 major reasons a man stops giving. Martians idealize fairness. Venusians idealize unconditional love. Martians give when they are asked, and Venusians say yes even when their score is uneven. Martians give penalty points. To buy the book, link in the image below to purchase from Amazon. Quite an interesting book, I gotta have to say. I really gotta have to say so. Is there other summaries that I can find on that? So just really quickly. I still have severe performance issues and I don't know why. I really don't know why. Like, I've closed down everything. Everything actually should be fine. So I'm very sorry if everything is like just bugging and whatnot. The book states the most common relationship problems between man and woman are a result of fundamental psychological differences between the sexes, which the author exemplifies by means of its eponymous metaphor. The man and woman are from distinct planets, man from Mars and woman from Venus. So there's a little bit of a summary. Well, there is actually from the alanchang.com site, there is a summary on that. And I do wonder whether I, first of all, have already gone through it. And second of all, whether it is the whole summary or if it is only a bit of it. But I do have a very good feeling that it is a big thing. And I still have the severest performance issues there. It's actually the whole end of preview. Fuck. Not really there. But very interesting book. And I kind of feel like that there are actually... Well, from the getabstract.com site, there is a summary. I'm very sorry, by the way, for the issues there. But I don't know what to do, actually, to really be honest. I don't know where the problem lies. Unfortunately, our contract with the publisher of this book does not allow us to distribute the summary in your country. This is a rare occurrence. Okay, let's use a VPN. Can also do that. I actually don't know what's happening. At least the audio should be fine. I am so sorry. Read on. What if I click that? Does it say like, please buy me or something? Well, yeah, anyway, I'm gonna end the episode. Try it for free. Instant access to overturn with your email. I'm gonna give you my email. Verify your email address. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna end the episode there. So I wish you the best health, happiness, and all success, and also hope that you're gonna remind yourself and you're gonna be remembered. This basically means your legacy, basically means just being a nice person, and being remembered as a nice person is a pretty fucking cool thing. 3 other questions that I have here are: why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions hopefully going to show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea, which is a pretty fucking cool thing. And the one last question that I have for you is: what could you essentially say to another person that is really indeed going to change their life? Because I totally believe we all can say something. And yeah. But yeah, I wish you the best. Please stay healthy and safe. And I do also hope that your family is staying healthy and safe. And yeah, bye-bye. Thank you. And I hope that I've been able to just share some things that are of importance.